Welcome, folks. I'm Jabby KOAY, joined by SYNTELL KOAY.
What's cracking, baby?
We're looking at a video from TheOdd1sOut, and this is called The Internet Changed Me. Currently, he is sitting at 18.6 million subscribers. If this is your first video with TheOdd1sOut, make sure to give him a subscribe. There's a link in the description below. Help him get to 19 million subscribers. And also subscribe to SYNTELL. You can help him get to 10 subscribers. What are you at? 10,000? 20,000?
Oh, man! We had like 30 stacks, baby! Woo!
You can help SYNTELL get to 40,000 subscribers. I very much enjoy TheOdd1sOut. I have a hard time with the name, but I enjoy the content. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, vote this up. All right, let's jump in. Here we go.
May I have your attention, please? Your attention. Please. May I have some? Please. What if I put up gameplay of Subway Surfer and used a robot voice? Would that keep you stimulated? Wikipedia says that people born between the year 1981 and 1996 are part of a group called millennials. And I am a 96 baby. Hello, year of the rat. What's up? I'm cusping on that millennial Gen Z line, so I can relate to all you Gen Zers, okay? I know what cap means, I know what drip means, and I also don't remember where I was when 9/11 happened. However, Gen Z, there is a difference between us. We're both a generation that grew up on the internet.
Okay, hold on. There are so many things to address in what he just said. What is cap?
No cap means not lying. I'm not lying.
What drip means?
What does that mean?
That's Steve Buscemi. You don't remember that meme when Steve Buscemi has a little hat and he's like trying to like be like, hey kids, I'm cool.
What is drip?
Bling, clothes, gear, chains, rings, drip, your clothes.
Where were you when 9/11 happened?
I was in college, out of college.
You don't remember where you were?
Yes, I do. I was at home. And actually, I was at work when it happened. I was working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
So I was at home and my girlfriend called me up and she's like, did you see what's on the news? Because I was like getting ready to go to school. She's like, World Trade Center got hit. I was like, okay. And then I turned on the news and it was crazy. So that's where I was.
However, Gen Z, there is a difference between us. We're both a generation that grew up on the internet. But you grew up with the internet. We grew up with the internet. The internet didn't used to always look like this. It has metamorphosized a multitude of times.
That's true.
Now, if you talk to an older millennial, they'll tell you the horror stories of the late 90s internet. How the internet used to be paired with your home's landline. And if you don't know what a landline is, good. If you wanted to surf the net at blazing speeds of 7 kilobytes a second,
oh my gosh,
then you couldn't use your telephone at the same time. This was before texting even existed. So if you needed to talk to someone, you had to call them and look up their phone number in that 20-pound weapon known as a phone book. And then if someone else was using the internet, they'd get the pleasure of listening to...
Yep.
Although, if I had to make a sound...
Yo, that sound is like dear to my childhood. I remember like connecting with a buddy of mine and playing StarCraft on modem, 56K modem.
Oh, you had the big boy. I remember when the 14K modem first came out and everybody thought it was the fastest thing ever. Then the 33.6 came out and then the 56K dropped. And 56K, everybody's mind said, that was during the age of America Online.
Oh my God.
I grew up in the age of Prodigy. I go back even before AOL, but then America Online.
I remember the floppy disks. Everyone would collect the AOL floppy disks and like erase it.
Yeah, and you'd get a new one every week in your mailbox.
Yeah, put your own data on it.
Although, if I had to make a sound that represented the entire internet, it would sound exactly like this. I didn't grow up with dial-up, but I did grow up in a time where the internet looked completely different.
There it is.
By the time I was exploring the interwebs, we got speeds up to 1 megabyte per second.
Wow.
So the highest quality video you could stream on YouTube was in 240p, or this big, and it would still buffer. A lot. Gen Z, you weren't there when YouTube had a 5-star scoring system and the subscribe button was yellow and people would put these things all over their videos. You weren't there when the videos were in a 4:3 aspect ratio because that's what TVs look like. You weren't there when a background for a website would be a never-ending grid of a JPEG and music would play against your will and your cursor would turn into a sparkly wand and... Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
The Simpsons actually did a good bit on this where Homer makes his own website and it's just like all these crazy GIFs and this music and sound effects and Homer goes, you know, you'd think it'd be annoying after a while, but it isn't. So obnoxious. Like, I remember spending hours on end customizing my MySpace page.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, they had the right music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It mattered. These things mattered.
And then the person who built the website would go, it's looking pretty good, but you know what this web page really needs? A counter that'll tell you the total number of people who visited. Let me just copy this HTML code I found online. And if you're around my age and you also had unsupervised computer time, then great. You were also there to experience the pre-puberty years of the internet. Try to imagine the internet without social media. No Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or MySpace.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Were people back then just not talking about themselves or sharing their opinions online? Were we as a society more connected with the people we knew in the real world? No, of course not. People have been sharing their opinions online since day one. They were just doing it on random message boards. I know it sounds trivial.
Isn't AOL Instant Messenger, ICQ, and all that stuff considered, is that not social media? I guess social media involves talking about yourself and posting about that.
Yeah, well, it is. It's like the precursor to it. So, yeah.
I had a GeoCities website.
Wow, you're dating yourself. Goodness gracious.
GeoCities.com/JabbyKOAY.
Back when you had to actually learn a little bit of HTML coding. Look at you.
Exactly.
But there was once a novelty in being able to type anything you wanted into the computer and then someone else you didn't know would instantaneously respond.
Yeah.
Even Neopets, a game targeted to children, had chat rooms and let anyone send unfiltered messages to children. I'm surprised I didn't meet any weirdos. That's one thing that'll never change with the internet. There will always be weirdos online. In fact, most of a weirdo's life is spent behind a computer. I would know. I think people love sending messages so much that sometimes your friend would send you a message that said, "You've just been hit by the duck truck. Send this message to 8 of your friends and you'll be
I hated that so much.
Truck." Ignore and you'll be hit by a 16-wheeler.
I
you
hated
have 7
that.
days. And instead of blocking that person, some people would keep the chain going. Hey, I have a quick question. When was the last time you ever had to type a specific website into your address bar? Probably somewhere about 10 years, give or take. You just type in a Y, and then YouTube pops up. You put in a T, you get Twitter, and P gets you pictures of alligators.com. And if you had a specific question you wanted to ask the internet, you just Yahoo it, right? Yahoo? Oh, no, that's not the one you kids are using. You kids are using that new search engine, right? Ask Jeeves?
Okay, on the real, I worked at Yahoo.
Jeeves.
I don't remember that. Oh, wow. I remember Yahoo and Excite, Search.com. Those are the three. I used to work at Yahoo, and I remember someone said something about Googling it. The employee who was sort of like training us was like, we don't say that here. We say Yahoo it. I was like, that does not roll off the tongue. I'm sorry. You need to rebrand your shit if you want that to be your motto.
Yeah, big truth.
4 main websites that everyone goes on, but back then, instead of having a social media account, people made their own websites.
Yep.
So there were a bunch of different websites for you to explore. And to help you find those websites, you had a few search engines to pick from. Everyone loves to dunk on Bing for even attempting to be a search engine, but back in the day, Google had some competition. Obviously, I can see why Google ultimately won the search engine battle. Google is a great company, and I would recommend Google to all my peers and coworkers. I love Google. As much as I love the internet, some of the best memories we had on the computer weren't even on the internet, were they?
Minesweeper.
Sometimes the internet would just go down. But did that stop us? Did we go outside? No. We were still able to supply ourselves with hours of entertainment even without an internet. All you had to do was click start, all programs,
Pinball.
Accessories,
Minesweeper
games,
was my joint.
and then...
Pinball! I know this game! Oh, dude. I played the shit out of this.
Space Cadet Pinball. I guarantee every millennial watching this right now just got hit with a big wave of nostalgia.
Yes.
This
look
game
at
might
you.
seem simple because there's only 2 buttons that you can press, but when you really got into it, this game had a whole lot more going on. Trust me, Space Cadet Pinball was all we had sometimes, and I cherished every second of it. But if you were anything like me growing up, you were also practicing your art skills. And
MS
luckily,
Paint?
every computer came pre-installed
Paint.
with a top-of-the-line painting software that every artist needs. Yeah, this program's got everything.
Dude, I spent too much
There's
time
a
in that.
line tool and a bucket
So tedious.
tool and a circle
Yo,
tool.
the bucket
and sometimes
tool, dog,
when I was
changed the game
really
for me.
bored, I would make a black rectangle, scribble the freeform selection tool on it, and then blammo. Yeah, I still got it. I just made a masterpiece. And, fun James bonus tip, for some extra self-induced epilepsy, hold down Control-I, which will invert the colors, so your masterpiece will go, oh my God, oh, it hurts to look at!
Hey, looks like you're trying to create a
Oh
conclusion
my
with this YouTube
God.
video. Would you like my help?
No, Clippy. Even when you were around, I never used you. I just liked having you there to keep me company. The internet is still
Yo, kids won't have any idea what the hell he was just talking about. I hated that paperclip. Like, that's crazy to me.
Thing.
That's crazy to me that, like, kids just have no idea what the hell that paperclip thing is about. It's so baked into, like, my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
The internet is still a relatively new invention that is ever changing the way we live. And we have yet to see the full effects of what being connected since birth does to a person. The fact that the accumulation of all human knowledge can now fit in your pocket, that's going to affect your day-to-day life. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you to get off the internet, touch grass, and live your life to the fullest. Otherwise, I'd be a hypocrite and unemployed. There's no denying all the positive things that the internet has to offer. But I'm also not going to deny all the negative things that come with instant gratification, too. As technology advances, so too do we advance the amount of time we spend online. The internet can connect us to a million different people and perspectives that we never would have been exposed to before. But it can also expose us to some really nasty people and perspectives.
Dang, Karen.
And the only thing we can do about those people is shrug and say, sorry, that's the internet. So, are we as a society better off with the internet? I think so. But just, I don't know, just remember to drink water and stretch. All right, that's the lesson of this video. Go stretch. I'm serious. Right now, go touch your toes.
That was a nice walk through memory lane.
Yes. Do you have like a big standout internet moment?
I've never talked about this, but I fell in love with a girl. I don't even know if she was a girl. I talked to someone over AOL Instant Messenger and developed this whole relationship with this person. And I spoke to her on the phone once. And I think it was a girl. We spoke on the phone for like 9 minutes, and that was it. And we were supposed to meet, and we never did. That's one of those things that kind of like haunts me. You know, like I was talking to you about like memories that just sort of sneak up on you, and you're like, oh God, and you just have to shake it off. Like when I cheated on my history test in high school, and I'm just like, no, it doesn't matter anymore. Stop thinking about it. You know? Like that's one of those memories where I'm like, oh God, like I'm so embarrassed. I'm so ashamed because AOL Instant Messenger was my life. Like I would just go on there and randomly search for folks to talk to and start up whole conversations and make friends. And every now and again, I would meet those people in real life and and they were really cool. But anyway, yeah, that's my standout.
Back when AOL was giving out AOL accounts, they didn't have limits to how big your email storage was back then because nobody. You know, it was just like most people, 99% of people were sending like texts over for their emails and stuff. I'm in college when this is happening, and we were pirating games. They were called wares at that time, W-A-R-E-Z. I don't even know if they use that term anymore. But we would download the games and then upload them to our email address because nobody had all the disk space because we still had floppy disks back then. So we were using AOL's email as our storage device to play games. Doom and Duke Nukem and all of that. So I remember swapping games through email. Can't do that anymore. Now when games are like 100 and something gigs. Talking to you, Call of Duty.
My favorite memories are always like messing with people. Like on AOL Instant Messenger, I would create random handles, type at my friend who I knew was online, be like, "You've been hacked." Those 3 words, "You've been hacked," were the best. And would just mess him up. He'd try to block me, and I'd be like, "Why are you trying to run?" I'd go into another handle and start telling him all this shit about himself.
Oh, that's foul. You're a horrible individual.
And I call him up, and then I just start laughing, and he'd start laughing. And he's like, "Bonk." Another prank I did on him where it would be like some kind of thing you could install on your computer, like a game or something. And you install it, and then something happens that pops up where it says, "Deleting all files from your computer because you asked me to do that." And then it would just show you this animation of deleting all of your imported files from the PC. You're like, "What the fuck?" And you try to stop it as fast as you can, and then it says, "Just kidding. I sent that to everybody I knew."
Dog, you are absolutely, you're absolutely a terrorist, and you're an internet terrorist is what you are. And you said the 3 most important words that messed you up was "you got hacked." I remember my favorite 3 words, and everybody, "You've got mail." Something about that would always put a smile on your face.
I guess the last thing I'll mention before we close this out is how I discovered OMG. That's where it first got popular, was on AOL Instant Messenger. And I was having a conversation with a girl I didn't know, and I said something, and she says OMG, and I'm like, "What is that?" And she goes, "Oh my God." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what it means. Can you tell me?" She goes, "Oh my God. Look, you can keep saying that. I just need you to explain to me what OMG is, and then we're on the same fucking page." She goes, "Oh my God." I'm like, "You're just being a bitch now." She's like, "OMG means oh my God." I'm like, "Oh, whoopsie daisy." Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Please tell us your favorite memories from the early internet in the comments below. I am Jabby KOAY. This is...
Hey, it's your boy SYNTELL.
Peace out.